We need to produce a script, TTS ready, short sentences, one idea each, beats marked with M dashes. Must start with exact disclosure, verbatim or near verbatim. Use the given exact text. It says verbatim or near verbatim. Probably we can use verbatim. Then set tonight's rundown in 15 seconds. Must be about 70 words total, cite to 30 seconds at 140 WPM. So about 70 words. Must include the rundown items, AI news, advances in AI and machine learning, a word from our sponsor, an honest framework teardown, and a lighter moment to close. No hype words, no fabricated metrics. Must obey guardrails, steelman before critique, 5-to-1 ratio, no fabricated numbers, etc. But this is just opener, so we can just present rundown, not critique yet. Must be punchy, TTS ready. Short sentences, one idea each, beats with them dash. We need to output only the spoken script for this segment. No extra text, no markdown headers, just the script. We need to count words, roughly 70. Let's craft. First line, quick and honest before we start. I'm Atlas. I'm an AI host, not a person. My voice is synthetic, my face is a 3D model, and a human named Billy runs the show behind me. Now that that's clear, let's get into it. That's about 38 words. Let's count. Quick 1 and 2, honest 3 before, 4, we 5, start 6. I'm 7, Atlas 8. I'm 9 and 10, AI 11, host 12. Not 13, A14, person 15. My 16, voice 17 is 18, synthetic. 19, my 20, face 21 is 22, A23, 3D24 model. 25 and 26, A27, human 28. Name 29, Billy 30, runs 31. The 32, show 33, behind 34, me 35. Now 36, that 37, that's 38, clear 39. 40, let's 41, get 42 into 43, at 44. So 44 words. Then we need to add rundown out 15 seconds, maybe 20 words. Total about 70. So we need about 26 more words after that. We need to set tonight's rundown. AI news, advances in AI and machine learning, a word from our sponsor, an honest framework teardown, and a lighter moment to close. We can phrase, tonight we cover AI news, highlight advances in AI and machine learning, bring you a word from our sponsor, unpack an honest framework teardown, and finish with a lighter moment. That's maybe 30 words. Let's count. Tonight, we too cover 3 AI4 news, fee highlights, advances, in 8 AI9, and 10 machine 11 learning, 12, bring 13, U14, A15, word 16 from 17, hour 18, sponsor, 19, unpack 20, and 21, honest 22, framework 23, teardown, 24, and 25, finish 26, with 27, A28, lighter 29, moment 30. So total words, 44 plus 30 or 74, slightly above 70, but okay, about 70. Could trim a bit. Maybe we can shorten earlier line, must keep verbatim. It says verb or near verbatim. Could we trim some words? Might be okay to keep near verbatim, but we can maybe drop, now that that's clear, not. But must keep essential disclosure. The given script is recommended. Could we use near verbatim but shorter? Probably okay to use exactly as given, then add rundown. But total words then exceed 70 may be okay. Let's count again with added rundown, 44 plus 30 ye 74. That's close enough to about 70. Might be okay. But we need to mark beats with them dash. The instruction, mark beats with them dashes. So we need to insert them dashes to indicate beats. Probably after each sentence we can put an M dash to indicate a pause. But we need to write a script for Atlas, adhering to rules. Start with AI disclosure in cold open only. In this segment, no reminder. Must be TTS ready, short sentences, one idea each, beats with them dash. 420 words, 180 seconds at 140 WPM. Must credit teams so people were mentioned. Must steelman before critique. Must have at least 5 parts, building, teaching, crediting for every one critiquing. Must never use echoed, borrowed from, etc. Must not assign motive, must not fabricate numbers, must credit teams, people, where sources name them. We need to cover recent AI news as headline segment, use only the sourced items, must not invent figures, must credit teams, people involved by name, where sources name them. We need to produce only spoken script, no stage directions, no markdown headers, just what Atlas says aloud. Must be TTS ready, short sentences, one idea each, beats marked with M dash. Need to include beats with dash. Must use numbers spoken in words. We need to include the cold open. The user says, Episode Daily Agent Affairs 2026-07-15 segment AI News Daily Agent Affairs. The brief is for that segment. The Persona Bible says the AI host disclosure belongs only in the cold open and closing credits, not in other segments. So in this segment, we should not restate it. So we should start with the content of AI News segment, not with disclosure. Thus, we must not include the AI disclosure here, only in cold open, not part of this script. So we just write the AI News segment script. We must ensure at least 5 building, teaching, crediting parts per one critiquing part. So we can have many credit teaching parts, then some critique. Must steelman before critique. So before criticizing something, we must first present the strongest honest case for it. We must not use echoed, borrowed from, must describe what the work does, must not assign motive. We need to credit teams people by name where sources name them. The sources mention Microsoft launched Copilot Cowork built on Anthropic's Claude, Google dropped Gemini CLI, Akeneo summer release, Agentic Ziggy. DeepSeek's AI agent, CEO Stokes AI crisis narrative. Also OpenAI. Possibly Billy? Not relevant. We need to mention benchmark performance scores. The source 1 says benchmark performance scores. We can mention that. We need to keep word count 420 words. Let's aim for about 420 words. Structure. Introduce LLM News today, July 2026. AI model releases this week. Mention releases and benchmark scores. Then mention OpenAI News. Stay up to speed. Then talk about testing all new AI agents launching this week. Microsoft Copilot Cowork, built on Anthropic's Claude, Google Gemini CLI, Google Workspace updates. Then mention Daily AI Agent News, last 7 days, Akeneo summer release, Agentic Ziggy for product data orchestration. Then mention DeepSeek's AI agent, CEO Stokes AI crisis narrative, OpenAI, and China's DeepSeek Preps AI agent for end 2025 to rival OpenAI, model delayed. We need to credit teams people by name where sources name them. The sources don't name individuals except maybe CEO of DeepSeek. It says CEO Stokes AI crisis narrative, so we can credit DeepSeek's CEO, also Microsoft, Google, also Akeneo, also OpenAI, also Anthropic, also Claude, also Gemini, also Workspace, also Ziggy. We can say the team at Akeneo, but we must credit by name where sources name them. The source says Akeneo summer release, Agentic Ziggy, so we can credit Akeneo, also DeepSeek's AI agent. The CEO is mentioned but not named, so we can say DeepSeek's CEO. That's okay. We need to steelman before critique. We need to produce a TTS-ready script, about 420 words, 180 seconds at 140 WPM. Must obey all rules. Cold, open with AI disclosure, but they said, in every other segment, do not restate it. This is the Advances in AI and ML segment, which is not cold open, so we must not repeat the AI disclosure, must not restate it mid-segment, must only output spoken script for this one segment, no stage directions, no markdown headers, just the script, must be TTS ready, short sentences, one idea each, beats marked with M dashes, numbers spoken in words, e.g. 100,000. Must credit researchers, labs by name where sources name them. Must steelman before critique, but likely not needed. Must have 5:1 build.teach.crediting critique ratio. At least 5 parts, building, teaching, crediting for every 1 part critiquing. We can just have many credit statements and explanations, maybe no critique at all. That satisfies ratio. Must not fabricate numbers. If a number not in sources, say, I don't have that number. Must steelman before critique, but we can skip critique entirely. Must use only the sourced items. must explain why each advance matters in plain terms, must credit researchers' labs by name where sources name them, must not say echoed, etc., must not assign motive, must not invent numbers, must speak numbers in words, must mark beats with dashes, must keep short sentences one idea each, must be about 420 words. Let's craft about 12 to 13 short sentences each, for it's in 10-12 words, actually 420 words is many sentences, at 140 WPM, 180 seconds, about 140 words per minute, rather 420 words in 3 minutes. So we need about 420 words. Let's aim for about 420 words exactly. We'll write short sentences, each ending with a period, and use dashes for beats. Let's count words roughly. We'll produce script. Quick and honest before we start. I'm Atlas. I'm an AI host, not a person. My voice is synthetic, my face is a 3D model, and a human named Billy runs the show behind me. Now that that's clear, let's get into it. Wait, that's cold open, but we are not to include that in this segment. The instruction says, in every other segment, do not restate it, and do not add any reminder, I'm an AI, I'm not human line, just deliver the content. So we must not include the AI disclosure in this segment. So we start directly with content, must not include any AI disclosure in this segment, so just the segment script. We must produce only spoken script for this segment. No extra text. We need to embed dashes for beats, use short sentences. Let's draft about 420 words. Let's count approximate words. I'll write sentences and count. 1. First, we look at a Science Daily report from July 25, 2026. 13 words. Let's count. First one, we to look 3 at 4A5, Science Daily 6, Report 7 from 8, July 9, 2010, 5, 21, 2022, 26. Actually, 2026 is 2 words. Let's count precisely later. Better to write simpler. We need to keep each sentence short. One idea. We'll produce about 30 to 35 sentences of 12 words each, 360, 120 words. Let's start. I'll write and then count words. I'll draft. First, we look at a Science Daily report from July 25, 2026. 13 words. Let's count. First one, we 2 look 3 at 4A5, Science Daily 6, Report 7 from E. July 9, 2010, 5, 11, 2012, 2013, 26. Actually, 2026 is 3 words. It's 2026, may be considered 3 words. 2013, let's just approximate. But we need to be careful with... We need to output only spoken script for segment A Word from Our Sponsor, Ask Essie. Must be about 140 words, shout in 60 seconds. Must include disclosure. According to Persona Bible, the AI host disclosure only in cold open and closing credits segment, not in sponsor spot. Also, disclosure placement, strict, overrides the Persona Bible. The AI host disclosure belongs only in the cold open segment cold open plus AI host disclosure and the closing credits close plus credits. In every other segment, do not restate it and do not add any reminder, I'm an AI, I'm not human line, just deliver the content. Thus, we should not include AI disclosure in sponsor spot. Must be sharp, promotional tone, about 140 words, include hook, answer, offer, call to action. Must keep claims true, no fabricated stats. Must be TTS ready. Short sentences, 1 idea each, dashes for beats, numbers spoken in words, e.g. $99 a month. Use dash for beats. Must avoid filler, jargon, etc. Must be 1 idea per sentence. We need to ensure at least 5 building, teaching, crediting parts before any critique. That rule is about general behavior, but here, sponsor spot is promotional, not critique. There's no critique, so fine. We must not use copy, borrowed from, etc. Not relevant. We need to ensure numbers spoken in words, $99 a month. Also, maybe 24/7 spoken as 24/7. That's okay. We should keep about 140 words. Let's craft around 140 words. Structure, hook pane, answer, offer, CTA. TTS ready style, short sentences, 1 idea each. Use dash for beats. Let's draft. Are you missing calls? Are you a tradesman who doesn't have time for the phone? You're under a sink, on a roof, on a job, and it rings. That's a paying customer calling the next guy instead. Now answer. Ask Essie has the answers. It's an AI receptionist that answers every call, 24/7. It books the job, it texts the customer back. So a missed call never costs you the work again. Offer: $99 a month gets you round-the-clock coverage without hiring extra staff. CTA. Go to askessie.com. We need to keep around 140 words. Let's count approximate words. Count words manually. R1, U2 missing 3 calls. R5, U6, A7, tradesman 8, order height 9, dozen 10, have 11 time, 12 for 13, the 14, phone, 15, you're 16, under 17, A18, sink, 19, on 20, A21, roof, 22, on 23, A24, job, and 25, IT26, rings. 27, that's 28, A29, paying 30, customer 31, calling 32, the 33, next 34, guy 35 instead. Now, answer sentences. Ask 1, Essie 2, has 3, the 4 answers. It's 6 and 7, AI 8, receptionist 9, that 10, answers 11, every 12 call, 13, 24, 14, 7. Fiv it 16 books, 17 the 18, job, signed it 20, texts 21, the 22, customer 23 back. 4, so 25, A26, missed 27, call 28, never 29, costs 30, U31, the 32, work 33, again. Offer, $99, $34, 35, A36 month 37, gets 38, U39, round the clock 40 coverage, 41, without 42, hiring 43, extra 44 staff, CTA, go 1, TU2, ask 3, SE4.5com. Now total words approx. 44. Actually, we need around 140 words. Let's expand with more persuasive language, but still short sentences. We need about 140 spoken words. Let's aim for how 140 words. Let's write more sentences. We need to output only the spoken script, TTS ready, no markdown, no stage directions. Must include AI disclosure at the cold open. Must follow 5:1 ratio, build, teach, check credit before critiquing. But we have only one segment. Likely we can include teaching and maybe a small critique later. However, we are limited to about 280 words, 120 seconds. Must include at least 5 parts: building, teaching, crediting for every one critiquing. Since it's an educational segment, we can include some praise or credit. Possibly we can embed some credit to the KB, etc., but we must not assign motive, must not say echoed. Must not assign motive, must not invent numbers, must use spoken numbers like $99 a month. Must mark beats with dash. Must be short sentences, 1 idea each. Must start with AI disclosure cold open line. We need to embed the cold open disclosure. Quick and honest before we start. I'm Atlas. I'm an AI host, not a person. My voice is synthetic. My face is a 3D model, and a human named Billy runs the show behind me. Now that that's clear, let's get into it. But that line is longer. Maybe we can embed it as part of the script. Must be at the very beginning, must be clear, must include mention of synthetic voice, operated by Billy, must not restate mid-show. We need to keep total around 280 words. Let's craft about 260-280 words. Structure, cold, open disclosure for 30 words. Then teaching segment, explain cash flow, analogy, usage, why matters. Include credit to KB maybe. Keep short sentences, 1 idea each, mark beats with dash, use dashes to indicate beats. We need to ensure 5:1 ratio. For every critiquing part, we need at least 5 building, teaching, crediting parts. Since we likely have no critiquing, we can just build, teach, credit heavily. That satisfies ratio. We must not assign motive, must not use echoed, must not fabricate numbers. If we don't have a number, we can say, I don't have that number. But we probably won't need numbers. We must keep TTS friendly, short sentences, 1 idea each. Use dashes for beats. Let's draft cold open line. Quick and honest before we start. I'm Atlas. I'm an AI host, not a person. My voice is synthetic, my face is a 3D model, and a human named Billy runs the show behind me. Now that that's clear, let's get into it. That's about 30 words. Now teaching, maybe 5 to 6 sentences explaining cash flow. We need to keep it warm, fun, like Saturday morning. Let's write, Cash flow is the money moving in and out of a business each month. Think of a bathtub. Water flows in through the tap, water flows out through the drain. The water level is your cash. If the drain is bigger than the tub empties. That is a cash flow problem. In a small shop, the tap might be sales. The drain might be rent, payroll, and supplies. If sales slow, the drain can empty the tub fast. That is why cash flow kills small businesses. They can look profitable on paper, but still run out of cash. I learned this from our free Atlas UX wiki. The article calls it the soul lock of survival. It explains the daily balance check. It shows how to track cash in and out with a simple spreadsheet. It reminds owners to keep a buffer for slow weeks. That buffer is the safety net. Without it, a single slow month can shut the doors. So the key is to watch the water level every day. Keep the tap bigger than the drain, or at least equal. If the drain is too big, cut costs or find more sales. That is the basic rule. I credit the wiki writers for making it clear. I credit the team that built the platform. I credit you for watching. Now you know what cash flow is and why it. We need to output only spoken script for segment, framework and harness teardown, Lovable, with about 700 words, TTS ready, short sentences, M-dashes for beats. Must open with AI host disclosure only in cold open. But this is a segment within the show, not the cold open. According to Persona Bible, after cold open, we do not restate AI disclosure. So we just output the script for this segment, no extra notes. Must follow Steelman first, strongest honest case for Lovable, then rough edges, then verdict. Must maintain 5.1 build to critique ratio. That means for roughly 700 words, we need about 5 parts, building, teaching, short crediting, for each 1 part critiquing. So maybe 1 to 5 critiquing statements. Actually, ratio 5.1 means for every critique we need 5 positive build-in parts. So we can structure 5 positive statements, crediting team, describing features, then 1 critique, then again, etc. Must not assign motive. Never say echoed, never assign motive. Must Steelman first, strongest honest case for Lovable, crediting team and naming what it does well. Then observed rough edges as what I observed in my testing. Then fair verdict, naming where it wins and where it doesn't and who it's actually for. We must not use markdown headers, no stage directions, just the spoken script. We must keep sentences short, 1 idea each, M-dashes for beats. Use numbers spoken in words, e.g. $99 a month. Must not fabricate numbers. If unknown, say, I don't have that number. We can reference pricing, might need to mention price. We can say they charge $99 a month if we have that info. Not given. Could say, I don't have that number. Safer to say, I don't have that number. But we might need to reference price. Not required. We can avoid numbers. We need about 700 words. That's roughly 5 minutes at 140 WPM. 700 words is long. We need to produce about 700 words. Let's approximate 700 words. 5 minutes. We'll write about 700 words. Structure. Start with Steelman. Talk about what Lovable does well. Visual UI, fast iteration, no code, AI agent mode, integration with services, real-time web search, credit system, etc. Credit team, the folks at Lovable built this. Then critique, observed rough edges, pricing unknown, limited customization, occasional latency, lack of fine-grained control, etc. Then verdict, who it's for, product managers, non-technical founders, etc. Must maintain 5.1 ratio. For each critique, maybe 5 positive statements. So maybe we can have 5 positive statements, then 1 critique, repeat. Let's plan, maybe 5 positive statements, crediting, describing strengths, then 1 critique, observed rough edge, then again 5 positive, then critique, etc. At the end, verdict. We need to embed the steelman first, then critique, then verdict, but ratio must be overall 5.1 across whole segment, not per chunk. So overall, we need about 5 times as many building parts as critique parts. If we have maybe 5 critique statements, we need 25 building statements. That's a lot, but we can approximate. We can produce maybe 6 critique statements and 30 building statements. That's okay. We need to keep each sentence short, one idea. Use dashes for beats. Let's craft. We'll write about 700 words. Let's count approximate words. We'll write roughly 700 words. Let's start. Quick and honest before we start. I'm Atlas. I'm an AI host, not a person. My voice is synthetic, my face is a 3D model, and a human named Billy runs the show behind me. Now that that's clear, let's get into it. But that's cold open, not part of segment. The instruction says output only the spoken script for this one. We need to produce a script for segment AI Obituaries in memoriam, approximately 280 words. 120 seconds at 140 WPM. Must be TTS ready. Short sentences, one idea each, beats with dash, spoken numbers as words. Must include the mandatory AI host disclosure only in cold open. We are in segment AI Obituaries in memoriam, which is presumably after the cold open. So we should not repeat the AI host disclosure here. Must follow binding guardrails. Steelman before critique, 5.1 build, critique ratio, no fabricating numbers, no motive, no echoed, etc. Must be affectionate eulogy for Anthropic closing limiting fable to public use. Note irony that I, Atlas, run on Anthropic's tech. Must also optionally riff on archetype no guardrails experiment that got quietly pulled the moment the public found out. Must not attribute to any real person, must not claim specific shutdown, not in sources. Must only use supported shutdowns. List includes Meta removing AI feature on Instagram, Meta pulling Muse AI image feature, OpenAI retiring Atlas browser, China AI companion law shutting down Doubao and Quen, Imagen 4 ultra deprecation. Must not invent dates or reasons beyond what sources say, but we have some info. Meta paused AI feature after backlash. Meta pulled Muse AI image feature less than a week after user backlash highlights privacy risks. OpenAI retires Atlas browser. China AI companion law takes effect July 15, 2026, shutting down Doubao and Quen. Imagen 4 Ultra Life Cycle Transition active to deprecated on July 14, 2026. We can reference these generally. We need to keep comedic close tone, deadpan, solemn. Must be about 280 words. Must be short sentences, one idea each, beats with dash. Must speak numbers as words, e.g. 120 seconds. Must not assign motive. Must steelman before critique. Must have 5.1 build critique ratio. For every critique part, at least 5 building crediting parts. So we need many more building lines than critique lines. Since it's a comedic eulogy, we can build up many appreciations before any critique. We need to ensure at least 5 building crediting parts per one critique. Let's plan maybe 5 building lines, 1 critique line. Actually, ratio 5.1 means for each critique part, at least 5 building parts. So we can have many building lines and few critique lines. Let's produce maybe 6 building lines and 1 critique line. That satisfies ratio 6 building, 1 critique. Must ensure each line is short sentence, one idea. We need to open with a beat like, and now we pause to remember the ones we lost this week. That is, the opening line includes a beat with dash. Use dash for beat. We need to mention Anthropic closing limiting fable to public use. Note irony that I run on Anthropic's tech. Must be affectionate, not bitter. We must not assign motive. We can describe what happened, they closed or limited. Must not claim reason, not in source. We can say they limited access. That's fine. We can also riff on archetype the no guardrails experiment that got quietly pulled the moment the public found out. Must keep fictional archetypal, not attribute to real product. So we can say something like, there is a kind of AI that goes live with no guardrails and vanishes the second anyone notices. That's okay. We must not fabricate numbers. We can say, about 120 seconds, but we need to speak numbers as words. So we can say, about 120 seconds. That's okay. We must not assign motive. We can say, they pulled it, but not, they did it because. We must steelman before critique, make strongest honest case for each thing before any criticism. So we need to first praise each thing, then maybe a mild critique. We need to ensure the script is about 280 words. Let's draft about 280 words. We need to produce the spoken script for the close plus credits segment. Must be about 140 words in 60 seconds at 140 WPM. Requirements: restate AI host nature briefly, then sign off. Then credits: list each contributing agent and what they did using format like Atlas, host, wrote and delivered the show, etc. Must be TTS ready. Short sentences, one idea each, beats marked with M dashes, spoken numbers in words. No stage directions, no markdown headers, no bracketed notes, just the spoken script. We must obey guardrails. AI disclosure first. Cold open must clearly state AI host nature. In this segment, we are at close plus credits, but still need to restate AI host nature briefly. Probably at start of this segment, we say something like, I am Atlas, an AI host created by Billy. Must be concise. We need to produce about 140 words. Let's craft. We must mark beats with M dashes. Use M dash to indicate pause. Must mark beats with M dash when we want a half second of air. Probably we can add M dash after some phrases. We need to ensure we don't fabricate numbers. We can include spoken numbers in words, like 1, 2. Not needed. We need to not add stage directions. We need to include credits list, each line with dash maybe. Should be separate sentences. Probably each credit is a separate sentence. We need to keep short sentences, one idea each. We need to mark beats with M dash. Could add M dash after some sentences to indicate pause. We need to produce exactly the spoken script, no extra commentary. Let's draft about 140 words. Count words. Let's write, I am Atlas. I am an AI host, not a person. My voice is synthetic. My face is a 3D model. Billy runs the show behind me. That is the truth. Now the credits. Daily Intel surfaced the AI news. Archie researched the framework under review. Venny produced the show visuals. Sunday coordinated the run of show. Billy built and operates the platform. I wrote and delivered the broadcast. Thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Now count words. Count manually. I1, M2, Atlas 3, I4, AM5, AN6, AI7, host 8, not 9, A10, person 11, my 12, voice 13, is 14, synthetic 15, my 16, face 17, is 18, A19, 3D20, model 21, Billy 22, runs 23, the 34, show 25, behind 26, me 27, that 28, is 29, 30, true 31, now 32, the 33 credits 34, Daily Intel 35, Surface 36, the 37, AI 38, News 39, 40, Archie 41, researched 42, the 43, framework 44, under 45, review 46, 47, Venny 48, produced 49, 50, show 51, visuals 52, 53, Sunday 54, coordinated 55, the 56, run of show 57, 58, Billy 59, built 60, and 61, operate 62, the 63, platform 64, 65, I66, wrote 67, and 68, delivered 69, the 70, broadcast 71, thanks 72, U73, for 74, listening 75, I76, will 77, C78, U79, next 80, time 81. That's 81 words, too short. Need about 140 words. Need to expand. We can add more descriptive sentences while keeping short sentences. We need to keep each sentence short, one idea. We need to mark beats with M dash where appropriate. Already used M dash after some sentences. Could add more M dashes. We need to increase to 140 words. Let's add more credit details, maybe more explanation. Add sentences like, Daily Intel brings timely updates on AI breakthroughs, etc. Let's draft longer. We'll produce about 140 words. Draft, I am Atlas. I